So what's the plan for today then?
Well, Winston and Tasha here, they're the ones who do the best grilling workouts. They're the ones that make grown men cry.
Wonderful.
And you're very tired.
Yeah, I can imagine.
British politics is in disarray. Trust in the people who represent us has never been so low, and many don't even know who their MP is. I've been travelling the country, meeting politicians outside Westminster, getting under their skin, finding out what motivates them, and how they're going to fix the problems we are all facing. Rosena Allin-Khan is the Labour MP for Tooting, where she met me in her local boxing gym.
What sort of impact do you think the benefits are of having a boxing club like this in the local community?
First of all, it's a well-known community space. We have a children's playground right next door. People can come in and use this space if they want to, but mainly it's a fantastic place for people to get fit. Whether you have school children coming in who want to get into the sport, whether you have white-collar workers coming here to get fit, whether you have mums like me who want to get their body back after having children. But it's also about mentorship. I mean, Winston and Tasha here, they meet children when they're 7 or 8, and they watch them flourish into adults. And it's about the mentoring that goes on as part of that. It is a family.
It's as much about the relationships that come with it as the exercise.
Yeah, the camaraderie, the team, just being together at a show and knowing that it's you and your team that are going in, batting for each other. That sense of belonging that is the driver for so much crime and gang violence. If we can recreate that in a safe space with mentorship, surely that's so much better.
You said you were the team doctor, right?
Yeah, club doctor.
So what does that actually entail?
So that involves doing all of the pre-season medicals for all of the boxers here, making sure that they're fit to box. And then before all of the shows, I meet all the boxers after weigh-in and I check if they've got any medical conditions, if they have, that they've got any relevant medication that they need. And I check them over before they go in the ring, and then I sit ringside.
Tell me more about growing up in Tooting then. What was it like? You're born and bred here. Like, what was your childhood like all the way through to where you are now?
It wasn't the easiest upbringing. My mum was on her own and she had to work 3 jobs to put food on the table for my brother and I. She instilled an endless sense of possibility for us, but that wasn't really the reality going to school. I went to a wonderful primary school. It was really, really great. And I always knew I wanted to be a doctor, but it wasn't really the sort of thing that people from my background did. And then things kind of changed with a Labour government, and the NHS reform plan of 2000 meant it was possible through more loans, bursaries, scholarships for people from working class backgrounds who didn't have a lot of money to go to medical school. So that's why I was really lucky.
So yeah, you mentioned bursaries then. Something that we've seen under the Conservative government was cutting of nursing bursaries. Is that something you'd like to see fixed?
It's essential it's fixed. I'm quite disgusted by the fact that I see nurses in my MP surgeries, and forgive me for feeling so strongly about this, they're having to resort to food banks. Food banks because they cannot afford to pay their fees. Quite frankly, this government should be ashamed of themselves and what they've done to our public sector workers, particularly nurses.
What sort of message would you give to a young constituency like your own about the future, about, I guess, the potential of that community under a Labour government?
Well, actually, I see people that I went to school with set up fantastic community initiatives. They're doing so much in the heart of Tooting to make young people feel empowered. But it's like my apprenticeship programme, for example, like the Take One scheme, saying that every young person should be able to see their potential achieved. Whether that be through the arts, whether that be through sport, whether that be through learning through books, everyone has to feel that sense of hope. And I believe that a Labour government would inspire people to think, you know what, if that young woman from a single parent family, Tooting born and bred, who went to a comprehensive school, can go on to become the MP for Tooting, why can't I? And the best bit about my job as a Labour MP is when I get to go to schools and say that there is nothing that's out of reach if people have a bit of hope and feel as though they're supported by their government, the very lawmakers who are meant to make it possible for them. That's what I would hope to see.
Perfect, Rosena. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.